so much broader than this statement, but it begins here. We become who we think we are. So what we have been told as a child, by parents, by siblings, by caregivers, by Sunday school teachers, whatever the case may be, right? If there's whatever is said about you, that's what you begin to believe. So if you're a mischievous child and having trouble sitting for any period of time, and maybe that's because there's other things going on for you neurologically, but you're labeled as the disruptive kid. Mm-hmm. That finds its way within you. And I believe that we as human beings are the apex of God's creation. And we were created into a cosmic war that already existed between God and Satan, if you will. And so if we are God's apex, the apex of his creation, then are we not going to be the target for Satan to literally want to disillusion, destroy the relationship that we would have with our creator? He is out to win. So now you already have the beginning of the interplay between what's going on in the spiritual realm and how the enemy may be using words spoken over you as a child, that you are disruption and you can't sit still and what's wrong with you, to begin to take root. And that's what you as a child begin to believe you're to be, right? So part of the labor as a therapist is to begin to go back and at least invite people to those narratives that have shaped and formed how they believe about themselves, what they believe about themselves, what they have chosen to do with those things, right? So so that's sort of the underpinning, and it's sort of all interwoven. And it's not that if you don't, I think therapists that don't necessarily have a theological background that they are using in the course of their work, it doesn't mean that they don't do some of that same work. They're just not going to have language in the same way that I might have the language to it. So, I'm about trying to help people see what their life has been, what stories and scenes and narrative has created who they are, the person today, so that they can have a better remainder of their life than they've had up to that point, right? So to me, it's hard to do labor that doesn't have the two that are intertwined. So I yeah.
And I have found when we can come alongside somebody with both aspects, when they begin to see the narrative of their story and the lies they believed and the damage that was done, it often will be revealed, the spiritual bondages and or the demonic or the generational curses that are attached to that place or came into that place to try to gird it up and keep it in place and continue to torment that person literally in their heart and mind, in the very place that they have been wounded and believed the false narrative about themselves. It becomes very powerful when you can address both.